Good day everyone, my name is Renstana Santa and I'm back for our lesson 3 entitled Developmental Stages in Middle and Late Adolescence. And as we talk about developmental stages in middle and late adolescence, we are going to tackle about the human development. Human development refers to the stages of changes that individuals undergo through the lifespan. Those changes refers to the physiological, biological, cognitive, and social development of an individual. We have two factors that may affect those changes or process in an individual, and these are nature and nurture. Nature is a person's biological inheritance, while nurture is generally taken as the influence of external factors after conception. Example given is the product of exposure, life experiences, and learning on an individual. In terms of nature, it talks about what we have through our genes. For example, your mother have a curly hair, and because of your mother's genes, you also have a curly hair. While nurture is something that we acquire from our real life experiences. For example, you were influenced by your friend and it caused you to change your beliefs in life. That is the meaning of nurture. Let us proceed to adolescence. Adolescence comes from the Latin term adolescere, which means to grow up. It is generally considered to begin with the onset of puberty. It is a process that leads to sexual maturity or fertility, which is the ability to reproduce. Adolescence can be broken into 3 stages, which are early adolescence, middle adolescence, and late adolescence. When you are in early adolescence, 10 to 14 years of age, you have noticed your physical attributes changes, right? And it caused an individual to feel shy and choose to be alone in his room. There are few students who did risky behavior like drinking alcohol, and it is because of peer influence. They see that peers are more important than their family members. When you are in 15 to 7 years of age, puberty has taken the stage. When you are posting photos in social media accounts, do you feel happy when you see that there are likes and shares from your post? It is because peers and friends, it became the most significant parts of our lives. Because you are creating a relationship with other people, and it caused independence in terms of decision making. In the future, if a mid-adolescent fails to value their relationship with family members, they tend to withdraw and begin to do things that will defy their parents' will. They are much more comfortable in telling their problems with their friends than their family. While in late adolescence, independence is ahead of yours. You will think like a grown-up one and behave like one. Parents expect their children to perform adult responsibilities, wherein young people expect themselves to engage more adventurous activities like real adults. The beginning of rift between parents and older children, like what I have said, they act like a grown-up man and do risky behaviors like dating someone or finding a job, which refers to the transition from being an adolescent to a real man or women. Let us proceed to basic maturation during adolescence. There are 4 stages of development, and these are emotional, physical, social, and mental. Emotional development refers to the ability to recognize, express, and manage feelings at different stages of life, and to have empathy for the feelings for others. For example, you are more concerned on how other people see you and how do you look, and sometimes there are wants for intimacy. You want to create bond with other people. In physical development, it refers to the physical and biological changes that occur in humans between birth and adolescence, like having broad shoulders and or voice changes and pubic hairs. while social development refers on how people develop social and emotional skills across the lifespan. For example, is the interaction between you and your friends to create a relationship. Last is the mental development, which refers to the progressive changes in mental processes due to maturation, learning, and experience. For example, you develop mature thoughts than usual and looks up to someone who can achieve things that makes us the form ideal person for us in the future. Let us proceed to two theories which explain the adolescence development, and these are Erik Erikson's theory and John Piaget's theory. In Erik Erikson's theory, we have the 8 developmental stages. Every stages in our life, we face crisis, and because of this, it can be a turning point wherein we can enhance our potentials and abilities in life. I have a game for you to be able to have a deep understanding on what are the psychosocial crises in every stages, and I want you to guess what is the answer. First question is, trust is the answer because the mother gave the milk immediately, so the infant will stop crying. But how can we develop mistrust? If the mother failed to give the milk to the infant, and if you successfully pass this stage, you will develop the virtue of hope. Next question is, shame and doubt yung answer kasi yung option ng bata is hindi pinansin or pinabayaan na lang. May isip ng bata na, ay wala akong choice kundi sumunod kay na mami kapag pipili ng bagay para sa akin. Mahihiya yung bata or magdadoubt sa sarili niya kung tama pa ba yung gusto niya sa buhay. And if the parent give the right to his child in choosing what he wants in life, it will be autonomy because you are giving the right to the person to choose or self-govern. If you successfully pass this stage, you will develop the virtue of will. Next question is, the answer is guilt because he failed to do task even if he chooses position in the game. Guilt yung answer kasi nakakaramdam yung tao ng regret na nire-regret niya na hindi niya nagawa yung task sa laro. Na kumbaga isipin niya na sayang hindi ko nagawa yung bagay na yon. At madedevelop naman yung initiative if he learn how to initiate na mag-initiate and successfully do his responsibility in the game. Dito mabubuo sa isipan ng bata na kaya ko yan, ako na ang gagawa. And if the person successfully pass this stage, he will develop virtue of purpose. And next question is, industry yung sagot kasi tinutulungan ng parent na gawin yung assignment ng bata. Kumbaga, ini-encourage niya na ina-encourage ng parent na gawin yung assignment through their support. At dahil dito, nangyayari yung industry. Naisipin ng bata na, full support ang parents ko. Kailangan kong gawing mabuti ito. While inferiority naman, kapag feeling ng isang tao na incompetent siya or nadi-discourage siya, feeling niya walang sumusuporte sa kanya. And if a person successfully pass this stage, he will develop competence. Next question is, the answer is role confusion. Kasi confused pa rin siya if ano ba talaga yung gagawin niya or ano ba talaga yung role niya in his society. While it will lead to identity if the person knows what to do and what role to do in his society. It will be the virtue of fidelity if he passed through in this stage. Next question is, isolation yung answer kasi mas pinapahalagahan mo yung mawali ka sa ibang tao kaysa bumuo ng bond at as a group. It will lead to intimacy. If an individual created a successful bond with other people, it will be the virtue of love if you pass the this stage. Next question is, generativity yung sagot because Joe is productive and feels that he belongs to the society. Generativity kasi ito yung willingness mo na to be engaged sa mga activities within your society. Kumbaga, nagko-contribute ka in order to help younger generation para ma-ensure mo yung long-term survival ng species. While kapag naman is stagnation, it shows no engagement in activities. You failed to find a way to contribute and you may feel unproductive. Sila yung mga tao na feel na hindi sila connected sa kanilang society as a whole. Success from this stage will achieve virtue of care. And the last question is, despair yung answer kasi Henry feels guilty kasi hindi niya na-accomplish yung goals niya sa buhay. Despair kasi ang ibig sabihin ay nawawalan ka na ng pag-asa sa buhay. And if kapag nakita natin yung sarili natin na unproductive of guilt with our past, kasi hindi natin nagawa yung mga bagay na ating kailangan accomplish, we became dissatisfied with our life and magde-develop ito as a despair. At karaniwan, naglilid ito sa depression. Those person na nagre-regret sa buhay nila kasi hindi nila nagawa yung goal nila sa buhay ay nakaka-experience ng despair. While made-develop naman ng integrity if we contemplate our accomplishment at nakikita natin yung sarili natin na patungo sa magandang kinabukasan. Success from this stage will lead to virtue of wisdom. Wisdom kasi enable ang isang tao na mag-look back on what he or she did with a sense of closure and completeness. Na ina-accept niya yung death without fear. Kumbaga, naiisip mo na, nagawa ko ng lahat, kaya ko ng nagawa ko ng lahat ng makakaya ko at masaya na ako. Nagawa ko na yung goal ko, pwede na ako mamatay. Naintindihan ba yung 8 psychosocial crisis ni Erik Erikson? So, let us proceed to cognitive development of John Piaget. We have 4 stages in cognitive development wherein makakatulong ito sa isang individual para maging active sa pag-unawa sa kanyang society. First is the sensory motor stage from birth to 2 years old. The stage na ito is for infants or 2 years old na kung saan tinutulungan nito na mag-construct ng understanding by coordinating sensory experiences with physical and motor action. Halimbawa dito ay ang accidentally na nasupsup ng infant yung kanyang daliri and later on naging paulit-ulit na intentionally kasi they find it pleasurable. Para bang ang understanding nila sa pleasurable is, as a pleasure is yung sucking their fingers. Next is the pre-operational stage, which refers to 2 to 7 years of age. In this stage, ang mga bata is kaya nilang mag-isip symbolically. Dito makikita natin mga bata na nagdo-drawing, they have their own representation. Halimbawa dito ay yung nagdo-drawing sila ng isang stick. Tapos may konting guhit. Sasabihin nila horse yun or aso. O kaya ay kaya nilang mag-imitate ng isang tao kung paano ito umimik or gumalaw. Next stage is concrete operational stage. This period lasts around 7 to 11 years of age and it is characterized by the development of organized and rational thinking. Ito naman yung period na nakakapag-isip na ng maayos yung bata kasi they have a development in organizing and rational thinking. Dito na nila ma-organize yung halimbawa, kaibahan at pagkakatulad ng dalawang bagay. Halimbawa dito ay may dalawa kang candy bars which in exact size. Yung isa pinutol mo sa dalawa. Yung isa pinutol mo sa 4 smaller pieces. Then tatanungin mo na lang yung bata if ano ba yung pinagkaiba ng dalawang candy bars? Ano ba yung pinagkatulad? While the last stage naman is the formal operational stage. The formal operational stage begins at approximately age of 11 and last into adulthood. During this time, children develop the ability to think about abstract concept. Dito naman ay about yung pagde-develop na ng ability to think abstract concept like, for example, kaya na nilang mag-deal sa question na anong mangyayari kapag naging puti ang uwak. They will use analyzation and logic. That's all for our lesson 3, which is developmental stages in middle and late adolescence. If there are questions or clarifications, kindly message me on my Facebook account and I will reply. Thank you for listening. See you on our next meeting. Bye!